Welcome to our show, Trump Briefing. Today, we have some intriguing headlines to dive into. First up, a New York judge has lifted the ban on Elon Musk's Department of Government Efficiency, allowing them access to sensitive Treasury information. This decision comes amidst a lawsuit from Democratic state attorneys general concerned about privacy and political appointments. It certainly raises questions about government transparency and efficiency. In Poland, a grand patriotic celebration took place in Warsaw, marking 1,000 years since the coronation of the first Polish king. Thousands joined traditional dances and showed support for conservative presidential candidate Karol Nawrocki, as the country gears up for elections. While attendance numbers vary, the enthusiasm for national heritage and the upcoming election is palpable. Lastly, we explored the thoughts of undecided voters who are actively seeking clarity ahead of the upcoming election. Many are feeling disillusioned with the current leadership and are dissatisfied with the alternatives presented by the conservatives. Their concerns about the economy and job opportunities highlight the urgency for political candidates to connect with their electorate. Please stay tuned for more detailed coverage. The Toronto Star reports that a New York judge has eased restrictions on Elon Musk's Department of Government Efficiency, allowing one of its workers, Ryan Wonderly, to access sensitive Treasury Department information after completing necessary training and submitting a financial disclosure report. This decision follows a lawsuit from 19 Democratic state attorneys general, who raised concerns about privacy violations, arguing that Musk's team, comprised of political appointees, should not have access to sensitive records typically managed by trained civil servants. The judge's ruling enables Wonderly to access payment records and other confidential data, which has sparked debate about the appropriateness of Musk's initiative aimed at modernizing government payment systems. In Poland, a grand patriotic celebration took place in Warsaw to commemorate the 1000th anniversary of the coronation of the first Polish king. Thousands gathered to support the Conservative Law and Justice Party and its presidential candidate, Karol Nawrocki, as they danced, sang, and showcased their national pride. This event, supported by party leader Jarosław Kaczyński, aimed to galvanize the base ahead of the upcoming presidential election. Nawrocki highlighted the importance of preserving Poland's heritage and aspirations, while the event also served as a reminder of Poland's historical resilience against foreign aggression. However, the political landscape remains competitive, with Nawrocki trailing behind the Liberal frontrunner, indicating a challenging road ahead for the Conservatives. In a recent online discussion hosted by The Star, undecided Canadian voters expressed their deep concerns about the country's future, revealing that their indecision stems from a serious consideration of the issues at hand, particularly the economy. Many participants noted a shift in sentiment towards the Liberal Party, with former supporters now contemplating a vote for the Conservatives, though they found party leader Pierre Poilievre lacking in effective communication and connection. Voters shared personal experiences that highlighted the current economic challenges, such as high student debt and job scarcity, leading to a sense of urgency in making an informed choice. The discussion underscored a growing disillusionment with both major parties, as voters seek clarity and genuine solutions amidst a turbulent political climate. CBC, the Trump administration has decided to exempt electronics such as smartphones and laptops from reciprocal tariffs, a strategic move aimed at stabilizing prices for popular consumer products that are predominantly sourced from abroad. This decision not only alleviates financial pressure on consumers but also provides a significant advantage to major tech companies like Apple and Samsung, as well as semiconductor manufacturers like Nvidia. A list of approximately 20 products eligible for tariff exemptions includes essential components like hard drives and memory chips, which means they will not be subjected to the steep 145% tariffs imposed on goods from China or the 10% baseline tariffs on other imports. Analysts have noted that this exemption removes a considerable burden from the tech sector, allowing these companies to operate with less financial strain. The Independent, in a bold move, President Trump has ordered the military to take control of federal lands along the southern border, citing an invasion of illegal immigrants and cartel activity. This directive expands the military's role in border security, allowing troops to temporarily detain migrants and construct new barriers. The Roosevelt Reservation, a narrow strip of federal land along the border, is now set to become a military zone, raising concerns about the legality of such actions under the Posse Comitatus Act, which generally prohibits military involvement in domestic law enforcement. With around 10,000 troops already deployed, this escalation is seen as part of Trump's ongoing crackdown on immigration, which has led to a significant drop in illegal crossings, from over 370,000 monthly to just over 7,000 in March. Critics argue that this approach could blur the lines of legal authority and escalate tensions at the border. The Toronto Star, following a recent round of discussions in Oman, Iran and the United States are set to engage in further negotiations regarding Tehran's nuclear program. This meeting marks a significant moment in the long-standing tensions between the two nations, as U.S. envoy Steve Witkoff and Iranian Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi held direct talks mediated by Oman. The stakes are high, with Trump threatening military action if a deal is not reached, while Iran warns of advancing its nuclear capabilities. The discussions aim to address critical issues such as sanctions relief and uranium enrichment, with Iran currently possessing a stockpile that could allow for the development of nuclear weapons. As both sides express a willingness to negotiate, the outcome remains uncertain, particularly given Iran's reluctance to abandon its nuclear program entirely, signaling a complex path ahead in achieving a diplomatic resolution. The Toronto Star reports that the Trump administration has decided to exempt certain electronics, including smartphones and laptops, from the reciprocal tariffs that have been impacting the tech sector. This decision aims to alleviate the financial burden on consumers and major tech companies such as Apple and Samsung, which rely heavily on imports from China. U.S. Customs and Border Protection has specified that devices like hard drives and flat panel monitors will not be subject to the steep tariffs of 145% on Chinese goods or the 10% tariffs on other imports, signaling a shift in the administration's aggressive tariff strategy. Analyst Dan Ives noted that this exemption lifts a significant concern from the tech sector, allowing companies to breathe easier amidst ongoing trade tensions. In a separate development, the South China Morning Post highlights the constructive talks between the U.S. and Iran regarding Tehran's nuclear program, which took place under the mediation of Oman. As President Trump continues to threaten military action if a deal is not reached, the two nations are attempting to navigate their long-standing animosity. The discussions, which were conducted in a respectful environment, involved Iranian Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi and U.S. Special Envoy Steve Witkoff. Despite the lack of direct communication between the two sides, there is a mutual desire for a fair agreement, especially from Iran, which is seeking relief from crippling sanctions. Experts suggest that the survival of the Iranian regime may hinge on the outcome of these negotiations, as the country faces economic turmoil exacerbated by external pressures. Nikkei Asia reports that the Trump administration has officially excluded a range of electronics imports from steep tariffs, providing a reprieve for major U.S. tech firms. This exemption, effective retroactively from April 5, includes critical product categories such as computers, laptops, and semiconductor devices. While the administration did not elaborate on the rationale behind this decision, it represents a retreat from Trump's earlier hardline tariff policies. The move is welcomed by companies like Apple and Dell Technologies, which stand to benefit significantly from the reduced financial strain. This latest development reflects a potential shift in the administration's approach to trade, aiming to balance economic interests with ongoing geopolitical challenges. Nikkei Asia reports that the Trump administration has decided to exclude smartphones, computers, and various electronics from the hefty 125% tariffs imposed on imports from China, a move that brings significant relief to major U.S. tech companies like Apple and Dell. The U.S. Customs and Border Protection Agency has published a list of 20 product categories, retroactively effective from April 5, that are exempt from these duties, including all computers, laptops, and semiconductor devices. Although the administration did not provide a specific rationale for this decision, it marks a notable retreat from the aggressive tariff strategy previously employed, signaling a shift in trade policy amidst ongoing tensions with China. Thank you for tuning in. The content above showcases the latest briefing reports and analytical synopses, thoughtfully curated by the 6Do team. These insights stem from a wide array of reputable media outlets, think tanks, government sources, and specialized experts worldwide. We encourage you to explore these sources for a comprehensive perspective. Keep in mind that while the content may not always align with the official standpoint of 6Do Brief, it's not meant to be taken as absolute directives for decision-making. Comprising seasoned media professionals, learned scholars, and accomplished scientists, the 6Do team embodies a trailblazing, fully independent media entity. To customize 6Do Brief to meet your professional needs, you have the option to subscribe to a diverse array of briefings on our website, 6dobrief.com. Regardless of your location, you can conveniently receive 6Do Brief via email.